Welcome to episode 349 of the Cultra Trail Running Podcast.
From the belly of the Beast Coast, Glastonbury, Connecticut, this is the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. We talk about all the fun shit that happens on the trails that most normal people don't care about. The language we use is f***ing explicit and raw like the trails we run on. So don't listen with your kids! No kids. Cultra is brought to you by our Patreons and supporters, and we are 112% listener supported, and support is good.
All right. Welcome everybody to the Cultra Trail Running Podcast. I'm your host, Art Byerman, and I am joined by members of the Cultra crew. We have Phred Marolo.
I'm here.
All right, Phred, that sounds very enthusiastic.
Just as always, I feel like I just messed up my microphone though.
No, your microphone's, you're sounding good.
Okay, all right. I'll just leave it the way it is.
You're definitely a top 5 sound quality tonight, so I'll give you that.
Oh, yeah, all right.
So, and we have Anna G. Welcome, Anna.
Hey there. How are you?
Good. Glad to have you here.
Glad to be here.
Yeah, and we have a special guest back because it's the time of, every 4 years the Olympics are coming around. So we thought about who is our most, how many Olympians do we know? And who is the most experienced Olympian probably in the country? We have Ellie Pell joining us tonight. So welcome, Ellie.
Fresh off a Black Canyon whiff. I'm here.
Right.
Yes. That was kind of like an Olympic event in itself.
It would be like if you're doing the 100 hurdles and instead of jumping, you just try to run straight through the first one and you just fall.
Oh my gosh.
That's it. Like that was kind of it. Like
I've been to high school track meets, Ellie. I've seen that.
Yeah. It was about that exciting and about that long too.
Gotcha. Well, listen, I definitely want to talk about that. I have a couple things I just want to give people an idea of what we might talk about tonight. We'll see. Our goal is want to talk about the Cut 112 a little bit. Definitely talk about the Black Canyon 100K, which Ellie just returned from. And then talk about Frozen Snot. So Anna's back from that, I guess, a week or so. I don't know if the snot's thawed out yet, but we're going to talk about that. And then I thought we might play a little bit of a game of Cultra Matic, Olympic version. So does that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Okay, so first up is Cut 112.
Which, by the way, audience, it was not like 3 hours after my DNF that I have a text from Art. Hey, want to do the Cut 112? I was like, no.
Well, but I had good reasons, right? It was a logical approach, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. You whiff at mile 4 of 100K. What's the next logical step? The hardest trails in Connecticut.
Yeah. Okay.
Connecticut's small though, so I mean,
that's right. To me, it made sense because I thought you did Western states, right? And you finished, but it wasn't like your favorite after that, right? You weren't like a huge fan of the 100-miler immediately, right?
Still not. Yeah.
Still not. And then, I don't know, there were a couple, you've had a run-in with the number 100, it seemed to me.
So I should just go over that. Actually, speaking of over 100, I'm crewing Badwater this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wow. Who are you crewing there?
Cultra favorite Cole Crosby.
Oh,
right.
I was hoping you were going to say that.
Yeah. He emailed me on Tuesday and I'm signed up, going to go to Vegas. And then want to know what I'll fly right to after that? Ultra Cultra favorite, the Badger.
Look at that. All right.
Now look at you.
So are you going to run the Badger or just hang out or what are you doing?
That's the plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But as this past weekend, best laid plans.
Yeah.
But kind of a freak accident. So it's okay.
Well, it's good. I think that's a good place to, that's a great race, right? So I think that'll
I don't know. You've done it.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I don't know. I could do it. Ellie, you can do it, right? And Phred did it too.
I even did it.
Yeah.
Post-COVID, Phred did it. So
yeah. No, that was a good time. And even if, that's the kind of race that even if you got to like mile 3, if things didn't work out by mile 3, you could stop and have like you'd still have a great time there.
I mean, that's what I felt about this past weekend. Like, I mean, my race ended at like mile 4 due to like weird circumstances.
Yeah.
And so then I just had a great time. I had no regrets. I was like in a really good spirits.
I saw that. Yeah. So I was just to kind of bring people up to speed. So Black Canyon 100K and 50K were this weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
I think we should keep teasing what happened to Ellie, though, because I'm getting more and more serious every time she says one sentence about it.
That's right. That's right. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the event, and this is a race that last year Riley, Brady, they got the golden ticket there, set the course record by a half an hour. And, coming into this, there was a lot of, certainly it was being talked up as a super competitive field. And, even more, I don't know, they were talking just about it being like one of the most competitive fields anywhere, right? For as far as like,
I think so. I don't know. I've been a little bit checked out. So I signed up for this like last year. And I was like, that could be fun to do,
Yeah.
But just like the past couple of months since retiring, I really have kind of checked out from things, not like super intentionally, just more, I have a lot going on in my life. And so online running did not really fit. I guess, at this point. So I had no idea who was running. I knew Riley was running because like we had talked about it a while ago, but I really didn't know. And also I've been dealing with it like a hamstring. Well, now we know it's a nerve because I'm going to get it fixed on Friday, like issue for a long time. And so even though I was in good shape, like to run the race, I wasn't really sure like if I would be in contention because my nerve is kind of like day by day. And that really wasn't the issue of why I dropped. So, it's just, it's ultras are interesting, but apparently it was super competitive. I don't really know. I've been doing other stuff. So, when I got there, I was excited to see a lot of people, but it just kind of, I don't know. I didn't really know what was going on outside of just my own life.
Sure.
I saw Tara Dower was in it, right? She looks like I saw her after the race, looked like somebody beat her up. She had like bruises all over and cuts and stuff.
I have to be honest, and I say no lie, I don't know who won. Like,
I
don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't at the finish line. I was like crewing someone else who like, after I dropped, I went out there with my friend Anthony and he was crewing somebody else. And so I helped him crew until that guy ended up dropping. And then like, we just like kind of went and got dinner and then went to the hotel. And then we had to leave the next morning at like 6 a.m.
Oh,
So
gotcha.
I really don't know who won. So did Riley get the ticket is my question.
No, they didn't.
Dang it.
They didn't. And their record got all the course records were broken.
I mean, well, it was perfect weather. It was like, it was nice. I mean, I was kind of bummed. I was like, I really wanted to run all day.
Wasn't it? It was like just under 40 degrees at the start, right? Or something.
Yeah, it was perfect. And then it got up to like 80. So like, I wouldn't have even need to use an ice vest, like an ice vest.
Yeah, that's right. So, an eyedropper full of water, you're good to go.
Well, that's and I think for Riles, but I'm sure they'll go to canyons or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they were saying that it was just very dry too. So it wasn't just the wet, like the temperature, but the dryness of the course.
But the thing is, it poured the day before. Yeah. Like the trails were perfect. So it's like, it wasn't even dry. I don't know. Like it was perfect conditions.
So yeah, Hans Troyer, which I was kind of upset because the announcers kind of stole some of my taglines here. They called him Hans Troyer, the Destroyer.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, wait a minute, I'm sorry, stay in your lane, guys.
You didn't trademark that when you invented it?
Should have. Sorry.
Is he Amish or something? No.
Hans Troyer? I don't
Never mind. I don't know.
I think he was a speed skater initially. Had a set of silver skates or something.
Okay.
Right? Fred, you with me?
I'm right there. I'm, any literary reference, I'm right there.
Okay. Yeah, like Hans Brinker and his silver skates or something like that. Okay. Yeah, so there were lots. I have to say, it was very entertaining from a I'm kind of like in the mood to watch the Olympics lately, which we're going to get into. Um, so going to this was like a natural segue. You know, I just all of a sudden turned it on, and the coverage was like they were treating ultra running like it was like an actual real sport there. Like, you know, giving splits of people and drone coverage and all sorts of stuff like that. So from a sporting event, I thought it was very entertaining to watch, you know, and I thought they did a good job of of announcing it, you know, much better than most other events that I had seen.
Oh, well, good. I'm really glad it was enjoyable. I mean,
Yeah.
that's great. Like, I think I hope that everything is like with ultra running is getting better. That's great.
Yeah. And they did mention that you had dropped too. So they gave you, I don't know whether that's good or bad or who
I
gives a
mean,
shit.
cool. Like I
But
did.
yeah, yeah. So why don't you like walk us through like if you know what how'd it go down? And
Yeah, it was very interesting. So, like I kind of said, I've been a little bit checked out, not of running, but of
Mhm.
like online running, really. Like,
Sure.
just I realized that like I have a lot of rich friendships and running groups in my actual life. And so, I just started to prioritize that. And then also, I'm defending a master's thesis in less than a month, and I have a full-time job now. And so, like, my life is amazing. It's not focused on like what it had been focused on. Like, when I was coming on your podcast all the time, doing free trail, all that stuff was amazing.
Yep.
But I also realized that online running communities really took away from my in-person running communities. And
Hmm.
so I just decided to, after retiring and like deleting social media, just be like focus on what's in front of you and stuff. And it's been
Mm.
really great. But also like I like race week snuck up on me. Like I all of a sudden it was because I had to teach until like 7 p.m. Thursday night, the day before and then I flew out Friday at like 5 a.m. And so we get there and like, so I mean, part of it was like nice. I haven't been ruminating on anything. Like it feels
Mm.
good. Like I kind of was enjoyed that. But honestly, I got to the start line. I'm in really good shape. I was like, great, this will be so much fun. Like, I mean, I'll probably end up in the top 10%. Like, this is good. Like, I feel like I did my long runs. I did
Hmm.
workouts, stuff like that. I haven't, because like I mentioned with my nerve, I haven't really been able to do too much fast stuff, but I still felt like I was in good shape, you know?
Sure.
Um, so yeah, the temperature was great. I felt good, relaxed, like not really worrying about much, and started running and honestly felt fine.
Hmm.
But then all of a sudden it came on real quick, and this has happened to me once before. Is that my quads just started to seize and cramp, and they wouldn't unclench, and like I couldn't walk. And this is at
Mm.
mile 4. And so, if this was at like mile 50 or 40, I'd be like, okay, let's stop at the aid station. Let's like figure it out. I can sit there for a little bit. But at mile 4, I'm like, I know based on when this happened the last time, it takes about 4 hours for them to stop, like to unclench and like so that I can actually move forward.
Mm.
Um, and so I kind of had a little bit of a decision to make because I also know that after this happened the last time, it took about like 1 to 2 days for the muscle soreness to dissipate. And then
Mm.
I'm still in really good shape. So the last time I like ran 100K like 3 weeks later and it was great. And so I was like, okay, so do I sit here at the aid station and like wait for this to possibly go down so that I can then like stumble along for like a 1500 hour 100K, which I was like, not
Mm.
really want to do that.
No.
But it was something to consider because I like, I'm also like, I consider myself in the pack now. It's like, I'm a regular runner. But then also I was like, well, if I drop now and this does exactly what I think it's going to do, which it has, I might then be able to salvage this fitness and race again or do something else. And so
Sure.
I just decided to drop there. It was actually kind of funny. Like I was laughing at this because this has happened to me before. And
Yeah.
like, I mean, I don't like, I have some theories as to what causes it, but nothing super concrete that I can be like, oh, it was this.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, I just sat at the aid station for a while until the shuttle picked me up, and then I like hobbled around for a little while. And eventually, like about 5 hours later, my legs unclenched and I was able to walk.
Mm.
And then I was just super sore that day and the next day. But yesterday I was fine. Today I was fine. Like, so I can still feel a little muscle soreness, like when I go downhill, because it was severe muscle damage. But largely I'll be okay. And so I'm gonna race in a month. Like,
Okay, good. Do you know where you're
yeah, so
thinking about? Or?
Dylan's letting me into Big Alta. So I'm gonna go to Marin and do the Big Alta 100K.
Okay. Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
good. Very
Yeah,
good.
so I'll do that. And honestly, like running's been fine. So if it was like a very long training cycle, I would be like another month. Should I really do that? But
Sure.
it wasn't super long and I'm still pretty motivated and I feel like I'm in really good shape. So I'm just gonna train for another 4 weeks and do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a great pivot there. Now have you because I read so for people who don't know, you also although you're not on like I guess traditional, although this is turning into traditional social media, you write and publish in Substack.
Mhm.
So if anybody out there is looking for some good entertaining uh, thought-provoking writing, Ellie definitely has that and has for a long time. So I want to say that I enjoy reading what you post there all the time. So
Well, yeah,
thank you
like
for
I
that.
was like, oh, I should probably think about this. And also, like after the race, because I'm sitting in the hotel room and I'm just like, waiting for like the other guy that dropped. Like my friend is going to pick him up, and so I'm just waiting in the hotel room, really. And I'm like, I'll just write about this. Why not? Because it's kind of funny,
Mm,
and like also, maybe it'll like enlighten me as to what might have happened.
mm.
And so I hit publish, and not like 20 minutes later, Art is like, hey, cut 112. Like not even Happy Valentine's Day, just like,
No.
hey, cut 112.
Yeah,
Like,
because
I'm lying in this hotel room. My legs are like bleeding. I don't even like,
oh gosh, yeah, because I heard them announce that the announcers threw it out there that you had dropped, and I was like, oh, I didn't know Ellie was even running, and
exactly. Like
and
it was
then
perfect. That's
yeah,
another thing. Like dropping was so easy because
uh-huh,
I was like, well, I did want to run all day, but I was in severe pain. Like I couldn't walk. And
yeah,
also I was like, this doesn't matter because like I'm not on nobody really knows that I'm here. Like I don't
yeah,
have to make this big explanation, some sob story on Instagram about why I dropped. I could just do it, live my life and like
yeah.
plan something else. It was awesome. And like this is freedom, everybody in America in
Mm.
2026.
Right on. Yeah. Cause I looked at it and I was, when I heard that, I was like, oh, I got to write Ellie a note. And I was like, well, she's probably not even near her phone yet or whatever, or she's probably like, I don't know, out in the desert somewhere. So like, I was like, I'll let the dust settle just a little bit. And then I was going to drop you a note and say, what's up? How's it,
I mean, the dust
just,
set was settled before I even made it to the aid station to drop. I
yeah,
like honestly,
yeah,
I was the most at
you,
peace with what happened.
yeah,
Like it's
no,
kind of great. Like there'll be another race and like
yes.
whatever. I know I'm in good shape. Like it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. No, I once I read your post on Substack, right then I was like, oh darn it, I wanted to like reply before then, just to like,
No, it's
before I
okay. It
heard the
was
story.
funny.
So
Because
yeah.
also that same, like right after you texted me that, also my sister FaceTimed me. She just got engaged. I was like, this is a great day. Like,
Oh
oh my
yeah, right
God.
on.
Like,
That's great.
wow.
Yeah. So well, um, I'm glad that it wasn't anything like, like any broken bones or anything like that, and
Yeah,
that
I
it's
think
not.
like that was big perspective too. I was thinking about it as I'm walking to the aid station, like laughing, but also like, dang it, I don't get to run all day. This sucks. But also, I'm like, I know what this injury is. Like, and it will be
Yeah.
okay in like 3 days if I just don't do anything stupid right now. It's not
Yeah.
bone, it's not tendon, it's muscle. It'll be okay. And like, if you want to, you can end your season now and be okay. I could either end,
Mm,
like, I was at peace with either ending my season on that or like doing another race. And I like, and actually I would have ended my season probably doing just, flopping. But I was at one of the other aid stations and I was just hanging out. And my friend Travis, from Free Trail, he's
Mhm.
the guy that like invented free trail fantasy. So thank him. He's just an amazing guy from the East Coast. Like we get along super well. And we were just talking, and I was, asking him about what's going on Free Trail and stuff like that because I haven't been in that very much either.
Mhm.
And then, he mentioned Big Alta, and I was like, oh, when is that? And he's like, oh, it's in a month. And I was like, oh, okay. And then, we were just talking about that, and then I just was like, I'll see if they'll let me into Big Alta. I'll take that as a sign. I'll use this fitness. If not, then I won't. And so like they let me in, and so I'll go out and do that, have a good time, start the
Excellent.
race differently because I think there are a couple things that contributed to my muscle spasms, and hopefully get it done.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So, to kind of remind people also though, you also kind of have a lot of a scientific insight to human performance and things like that, right? Um,
I mean, I'm in that community, yeah.
mhm. Yeah. So I wondered if you had a chance to, besides speaking to us, have you spoken to other smart people about this?
When it happened the
I
first
had
time,
to
I talked
throw
to an
that out
exercise
there.
physiologist.
Yeah.
And I haven't really spoken to anyone since. I mean, so I got back on Sunday. I was exhausted. I put together a couch and then like fell asleep. And
Mm.
then Monday and Tuesday, I'm defending my master's thesis in a month. And so I'm just
Oh
been really
yeah.
focused on that. And so,
Yeah.
of course I've like thought about it a lot. But also like, it's just not the first thing in my life, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I kind of think it's a couple, I think it might be a few things that sort of contributed because I'm trying to think of like what happened the last time.
Yeah.
And I think it was probably a combination of I'm a salty sweater and I drink a
Hmm.
lot of electrolytes throughout the day. The
Hmm.
day before was like with all the travel and we had a lot of snafus happening. I definitely didn't hydrate as well as I usually do.
Hmm.
Um, like just I need to add salt to things. Like I just really need to, and I didn't at all. Morning of, I think I should have warmed up. I really just
Mm.
kind of like jogged over to the start line. I was like, oh, I'll just warm up in the first, miles or whatever. But I think the race started out really fast. Like my first mile was like under 7 minute pace, which
Hmm.
like I mean, that's fine for like a dude, but I mean, like, and I was in the chase pack. Like, I wasn't even up front. So, like, I, of
Hmm.
course, didn't think I was starting out too fast, but it might have just been too fast for me. All the adrenaline, everything going on there. Maybe a little dehydrated. And it was kind of like a storm of just like my legs just contracted and couldn't uncontract.
Mm.
And so, I think for Big Alta, I'll definitely do some things differently. Make sure the day before I'm like definitely taking in all the electrolytes, making sure everything is topped off. And then the day of like maybe do like a 5 to 10 minute like warm up jog. Make sure
Mm.
like I didn't do anything. Literally, I just walked to the start line. Like it was
Yeah.
just not like something I
That.
could do if I was 20, but I'm 34 now. Like I need to do other things. And so maybe do a little more warm up. Just sort of take care to like don't sprint off the start line, just do things that are a little bit smarter. And
Mm.
hopefully I think it will be a lot better. But things happen. There's probably a
Yeah.
lot of adrenaline. The body, like kind of what we say in human biology is the body do what it do. And like
Yeah.
sometimes you just don't know why because there's a billion things going on in your own
Mm.
personal body that can contribute. And so, when you accept that, when you actually learn about the body, I feel like you're a lot more forgiving with yourself with what things happen, with how things happen. But
Hmm.
also you learn like what things your body is capable of. So I think it's kind of both. And I think if
Mm.
people more like as I understand that more often, I feel like I get more forgiving, but also more curious about what I'm capable of as well.
Gotcha. Gotcha. I just pictured you like, because to me, it's quite a, a lot of times you can look at issues or, things that happen and like put your finger on it or say it's either this or that, or like have like something really concrete. I would be fascinated to hear what somebody like David Roche or something like that might say
I do
might
not
make it.
ever want to hear that voice. And
No.
I'll be okay. No, I'm just kidding. David's great.
No,
No,
I know.
but
I know
that's
you
another thing. I'm like,
talk to him on
I do
occasion,
not
so.
need to like listen to the discourse. And I'm a pro Roach. I love David. He's great,
Yes.
but I don't want to listen to anything like that anymore. And
Okay.
I think there are like, for the next race, I'll control the controllables. Like I'll make sure
Yeah.
to do things that, I probably should have been doing. But like, it's
You've been doing
everybody
it
is
for
different. So I don't know.
And you're an Ellie expert, actually. So.
That the thing is, I am like the most expert on any body that I will ever be is on myself, and it's
Yes.
still like a challenge,
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it wasn't meant to be, but to be honest, like I just got some news that I might be able to solve my nerve issue that's been in my hamstring. It's not hamstring, it's a nerve. And so I might be able to solve that like with a very simple injection. And so that would be amazing to have done before this 100K, So maybe, and also like I'm more connected to the free trail community than I am to like the Aravaipa running thing. And so like maybe this is just like a better choice. It should have been my choice in the beginning, but I didn't think about it. And so I don't know. I feel like lucky that I know my body can do it. I just need to make sure my body is like prepared to move in the way that I want it to without, spasming. And like it really just is like extreme muscle damage. So kind of for the listeners, like what it feels like is like it felt like I had already run like a downhill 50-mile race in my quads, but also like or maybe like I had just done a really hard downhill workout and like the day before and didn't eat anything. So like my muscles didn't heal. It really just was severe muscle damage. And then even running today, I like tried to test like a downhill to see like how it was. And my legs aren't really super ready for downhills yet. So the muscle just needs to heal and it'll heal in a couple of days. And then I'll be good to go. But the body is going to do what it does.
Gotcha. Absolutely. Anna, you had something?
Yeah, I was curious about something. Obviously, the desert is like incredibly dry. Was your first experience with this in a race where the climate was similar, or do you think that has anything to do with it whatsoever? Because you mentioned being dehydrated, and I thought to myself, like, oh, whenever I've gone to the desert, I just cannot believe how dehydrated I personally get. But I live on the East Coast where it's much more humid, so I just was wondering how like that played in, if at all, or.
That's a great question. No, the last time this happened, it was like Twisted Branch. So it was like upstate East Coast, Rochester. It had poured the night before and the morning of. It wasn't raining at that point, but it was wet. But I think in the similar case, I was like really adrenaline and I was in really good shape and I was really excited and maybe I just took off too quick, It can sort of just be that simple. Like the body sometimes just freaks out a little bit when it's like, and sometimes you're able to get out of that freak out quickly. And in this case, in that case, I just wasn't. But to be fair, like after that freak out, I had a really good season of racing. Like I ran my first 100K and then I had the fastest 50-miler in the country. And then I got my golden ticket. So it's like, that will not happen this time. But also I'm like, okay, I can recover from this and it's going to be all right. And hopefully I'll have a great time at Big Alta. I just was looking at the start list just because I want to find some place to stay. And I was like, oh, some of my friends are going. That's cool. And so, and it'll be a good reunion with the free trail folks. So I think, maybe things are meant to be,
Good. Yeah. Awesome. That's, I love your attitude about it. And I also love the fact that you're kind of like choosing reality over, social media. So a lot to be said for that. Hey, I thought maybe we could move on to Frozen Snot. Anna, so maybe you want to talk a little bit more about that. And,
yeah, let's talk about some East Coast stuff. That's more important, to be honest.
Well,
let's get there.
Well, Ellie, when I was, preparing a little bit for tonight, I realized that you were very involved in the Trails Collective, and the Trails Collective is why I did the Frozen Snot for the first time 3 years ago, because it was listed as the hardest half marathon half marathon in the Northeast.
I wore my singlet for the race. Ian loves that race. I've never done it. I have to be honest, but Ian loved it. I don't.
Yes. He gave it.
I think, yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
No, yeah. So I saw that. I think when it came out, I was reading all those lists and I'm like, that looks great. So the first time I did it was 3 years ago, and I was the only person from Connecticut who did it, and I just went there and did it. And I loved it immediately. It's in the middle of it's in the winter, like the conditions could be all over the place. As it turned out, the first year I did it, the conditions were not terrible. And then last year there was a little more snow and ice. It was like 27 degrees, and it's like a lot of up and down. It's a sort of a 2 loops, nothing repeated, except for a road in and out. And it's a half marathon. And there was like 5,800 feet of vertical gain. So obviously, like, for somebody like me, a ton of hiking, but really fun. And like these boulder fields, which you cannot find in Connecticut, as far as I know. I've never been in a place with boulder fields like this. So I guess they call it Rocksylvania, and maybe that's why. And what drew me back last year and then this year is just this crowd of volunteers is amazing. They have bonfires, throughout the course. They have a aid station called Bacon Station. This year, one of the food choices was Ritz cracker with cheese wrapped in bacon. I've never had that before, but
Gonna add that to my wedding food list.
Yeah, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, so I'd say the volunteers are like bar none. And this year in particular, you really saw it because they had to adjust the race course and the start time and other things related to the race due to the less than 0 degree weather start, and the wind chill factor, which was like -17 at the start, I think. So this year was a little different than the other years. Prior years, the first year I did it, they had the long course, which is a half marathon, and a shorter course, an 8-mile course. And you could kind of decide to drop to the 8-mile course if you had signed up for the half marathon. And then last year they added a 25K, and then this year they had those same 3 levels, but they decided on Friday before the Saturday, based on the weather, to eliminate the 25K, change the course so that you weren't in super exposed areas. And so the half marathon ended up being around 11 miles, but they did this like at 2 p.m. on Friday for a Saturday morning start. So it just was amazing that they were able to adapt so quickly. People were very understanding. Heck, although at one point, a guy and I were running with a guy who had signed up for the 25K, and he was like, this is only 11 miles. Like, he got kind of upset about it. And we were like, it is what it is. Like, it's 0 degrees, that's what you have to do. So I really was impressed with the race director and the volunteers there. And you have to enjoy winter to do this race. I would not do it if you don't like winter. But if you like winter and you kind of like being surprised by what's out there, and you don't mind running in spikes, or hiking in spikes, then you should definitely try it. It's about a 5-hour drive for me, a little less, and it's totally worth it. And this year, 2 Connecticut people also came, who we all know, Sherry Bilby and David Backenberg. And I hope they come again, because it was nice to have Connecticut, compadres with me. So yeah, it was, I actually, this year, the snow was like mashed potatoes. It's weird. It was so cold, but the snow was just incredibly like dry. Yeah, I don't know, maybe that's because it was so cold. So you really, honestly, really couldn't even, I'm sure some people did run in it, but I ran like maybe 20% of the race versus like fast hike or walk, because it was just so difficult to run in. And it was like, why waste the energy doing this when you're just not going to go very fast at all? So everyone was kind of in the same boat, in the like whatever rough middle to lower pack. Yeah, I highly recommend the race if you are looking for something in the winter. I think what makes people so excited about it is that there are just so few races in the winter, so you're kind of craving community, and it sells out like I think last year it sold out in about 20 minutes. This year it maybe sold out in like 50 minutes, but it's a hot ticket. So
Gotcha.
I really recommend it.
Well, congratulations to you and to Sherry and David as well. So
how long does a half marathon like that take? Like 3 hours, 4 hours?
I think the winner was over 3 hours. This year, like, let's see, last year, I was like totally fully in the mid pack last year, I think. And it was like 5 hours. I mean, it totally varies depending on the conditions, but last year it was about 5.5 hours. The prior year, it was like 5 hours and 10 minutes. This year, I think, this year was like 4 hours because it was 11 miles and it was easier miles. But I think the winners are like over 3 hours. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah,
that's like
definitely.
Barkley.
Yeah. Speaking of which,
I'll double check because now I'm like, I want to make sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was that was the other thing is that we had all of a sudden I see this note that said, "Oh, Barkley marathons, the conch has been blown." And I'm like,
seriously?
Yes, it happened on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Saturday
and I
morning.
was like, wait a minute, what? Like, and I was like, what time? When does Barkley's happen? Like,
maybe it's just gotten too public, and Laz is like, I don't want any media.
It was
I got
done.
some inside information on that.
Did you?
Yeah.
What you got, Phred?
Yeah, let's go, Phred.
Spit it.
From Mike.
Okay.
He said, well, there are two things. Two things that he mentioned. One is that they're doing construction in Frozen Head State Park this year. They're like redoing a lot of stuff, and they asked Laz to get the race in before the springtime where the construction was going to ramp up. So that was one thing. Also, what you said, Art. It was always on. Laz would call it Fool's Weekend. It was always a weekend closest to April Fool's Day, and people started just showing up like they thought it was a spectator thing because it's sort of this underground thing. They're like, I want to go and see all these cool
Which
people.
is ironic because on the opposite side, or like other side of the country, we have Black Canyon, which we are trying to turn into a spectator sport. So that's kind of funny, isn't it?
It is. It really, I thought that was 100%. I'm so glad you said that because like, and that's like that's a big battle that I think is, or just a discussion as far as what do we want, or what should events be, or should they be both? Should there be different types of events?
Well, one of the things about the Barkley is that there are a couple of movies about it. So like people can go on Netflix and see a movie and go like, we should go like a tourist attraction. We should go to that place and check out that race.
Yeah. But even the fact that as it's being, it's not covered by traditional, there's no drones there.
No.
To my knowledge, there's none of that, like, heavy camera action or anything like that to speak of.
There's no GPS of the course.
Really, what you have
in it this year? Anyone like notable?
No finishers.
Nobody
finished the last 2 years.
Kelly was in it, right? And go ahead.
Oh yeah, and Jeff Garmeyer. He's he just got a fastest known time and unsupported, I think, for AT.
Any women?
Self-supported AT, yeah.
I think that one woman did one lap and then was out on the second. Is that right? I think a fun run was only one person got a fun run.
One person got an official fun run,
which was
one
3
person
laps.
Came back and didn't have all the pages. So that was it. So nobody even started loop 4.
Yeah. Just they showed pictures. There were a couple pictures that came out of it just being foggy and the whole thing, foggy and icy, and
I think it rained over the whole first night. The course was very slick. People were saying that the mud was like so slick that you couldn't get up the super steep hills. So
yeah. And Laz was very upset about that. I'm sure he probably heard himself laughing at that.
Well, yeah.
So interesting bit. So we had Jared Beasley, who wrote the story about, wrote a whole book about Laz. And he was there again this year. And he's actually going to be on Thursday night. He's going to be, there's an event at Connecticut Forest and Parks at the headquarters there, where he'll be there. So I think this episode, I'm not sure if we'll probably won't, if I get it, I don't think anybody's going to be able to listen to this before then, but hopefully, people know that that's happening. So
we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. I
we
think.
did. Yeah, we did actually, Fred. Yeah, I think you looked it up and I put a link to it in the last episode. So, but that'll be kind of cool to hear his, and last week, I don't think we didn't know that the event was actually going to happen.
Right.
This soon. So I didn't expect that we would be able to talk to him about the latest, about the latest stuff. So
it turns out though, that since Jasmine Paris finished right at the end of the 2024 race, nobody's finished the race.
Wow.
She put a curse on it.
Yeah.
She's like modern day Ann Trayson. She's a witch.
Yes.
Oh, yes. That's probably true. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I don't know.
I want to just,
sorry,
I just want to correct my thing about the Frozen Snot. The winner was actually, this year's male winner was 2 hours and 12 minutes. So I was totally wrong.
Well,
sorry, that's all.
In some countries, that could be 4 hours. So I accept that. It could be daylight savings time.
Yeah.
Like it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Go back.
It's 4 hours somewhere. So
I had to look up where it was, and it's really not that far from where I went to grad school. It's not that far from Penn State, near Lock Haven.
Oh yeah, exactly, right, yeah. I didn't mean to bring it back. I just felt like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing that I got that time totally wrong.
Yeah. So whoever won could be listening to this and be like, "Hey, I didn't do 3 hours. Come on,
send your complaints too."
Yeah,
that's right.
To Art, send them.
That's right.
Art.
Send them right to me.
Yeah.
And I'll send Shadow Bear out to talk to you. See how that works out for you. See what happens when you complain. So you didn't happen to see Des Linden out there, did you, Ellie?
No, but apparently Molly Seidel was in the field. Wonder how she did well. I don't know. It's like hit or miss.
I heard that she was in the lead really early on.
Okay, well, that's probably why everybody was running that fast.
Probably. Yes,
did she finish?
She did. I could be wrong, but I think didn't she end up getting a ticket?
Yes, really? She was fourth.
Oh, yeah,
she was
exciting.
Fourth, but Tara Dower had the golden ticket, so
she needs some good luck. Yeah. So I think that's great.
Yeah, it was. I think it was kind of funny because I watched her come into an aid station, and like some of the old I guess more experienced ultra people were doing like dumping ice over the head and this and that and the other thing, and really hydrating a lot and stuff like that. And in the beginning, there were a couple times where I don't think she did that. And I think she ran out of water once or twice or something like that. I think I read or heard,
you got to learn somehow,
I thought it was great. Yeah. So
that'll teach you.
Yeah, she'll definitely, I mean, she did very well. Right. But
I remember the first time Killian ran Western States, he had one of those like squeezy collapsible water bottles. And that's all he had.
Yes. That's like Michael Jordan got cut. Michael Jordan got cut from his basketball team, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to bring that up.
No, I felt it was really exciting. The winner and the second place were separated by like 65 seconds or 60 to 70 seconds. Yeah, so that was super cool because you saw the Jen Lichter finish, look and see Ann Flowers coming in, and they give us each other a hug. And
yes. No, it was cool. It was cool. But I have to say then there's always that question as far as like, it was a cool thing to watch on TV, just like the Olympics are cool to watch. But like when I think of trail running, it's funny. That's not what I think of. I don't know. I kind of picture like a more, and maybe it's different than it looks on TV, right? I mean, there's that in the beginning, and maybe in the midfield, it's still like a traditional, like you're making connections with people and doing your thing. But sometimes like anytime you have those big, what do you call it, billboards and barricades that make it look like the end of an Ironman, it's just like, I don't know, it gets me a bit,
Well, that's what UTMB is like, right? You're like coming into town and there are all the barricades and stuff.
Yeah. So, and then, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I suppose they both can exist, right? And they but I don't know. I kind of feel like after doing some of the big marathons and stuff like that, like Boston and New York and stuff like that, those are fun to do for a while. But then after that, I'm like, you know what? I almost prefer like a Vermont marathon or something smaller, Hartford or something like that, than some of the bigger stuff. But I don't know. Um, at any rate, I think it's just another dynamic that I think they're stretching out. So like it's it was definitely fun to watch, for the entertainment value there too. So you guys, anything else on Frozen Snot or Black Canyon or Barkley's or the Cut 112 or Hoppin'
I mean, we
Hodges?
can talk about the Cut 112. I
Yeah.
can't do it. I'm sorry. I did do due diligence. I looked it up.
Uh-huh.
But so I graduate this May, and I'm gonna go into teaching. I have a teaching
Mhm.
job right now, but it obviously ends like in May. And
Mm.
so this summer, though, I accepted like a summer teaching position at CU, Colorado, and
Mhm.
I will be teaching that week.
Okay, all
And so
right.
I can't make it work this year, but you know what? Maybe some year.
All right. See, I want to get some fast females in this race. Yeah, or not in a race, but just to run and participate in it. Just to um I'd love to see, I don't know, more
You know
people,
who you
more
should
people to
invite? She was a Black Canyon, and I think she's incredible. Her name's Jessie George.
okay.
She's like broken a couple of my records on the East Coast, and I don't think she had the day she wanted at Black Canyon, but I was really pulling for her. Maybe see if she's interested. I think she might be in a little bit of a different, like, I don't know. She's like still shooting for golden tickets and things like that, so it might not fit into her schedule, but I don't know. You might be able to tempt her.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Thank you. And send, you know what, any of those you
And I
can
don't know
send
what
those.
Lila's doing. I don't know if she's injured still or whatever, but
I was gonna
could be a
say
good one.
Lila. Yeah.
That's another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking her or also Amber Constant. I don't know if you know her. She's like a White Mountains. She's runs in the White Mountains all the time. She did when Andrew Drummond put on the White Mountains 100. She ended up doing a yo-yo. So she did um, the 100 wasn't good enough, so she ran 200 um,
Oh.
in New Hampshire, um, and just puts up like her winter adventures are just off the charts. So I'd like to see her. You know, I don't know. I have to probably reach out to her and get it on her radar and see if she would be interested too. But let's see. Yeah, but Lila, that's another one that I should be asking. So um, okay, you guys want to talk? Guys want to play some Cultra Matic? All
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna get a snack. Be right back.
Okay.
This demands a snack.
All right. Well, it's going to be hard now if she doesn't know what the answer is, right? Okay. So the first rule is you can't use your phone, right? Or your computer or anything, any reference materials or notes that you might have, or anything like that. Okay. Um, and so we're going to have a couple rounds. I think I have 4 rounds of Cultramatic. The first one is going to be around, we're going to just go around the circle. And I'm going to, there's basically 16 events in the Olympics, in the Winter Olympics this year. So the question is, I'd like to see if we can name all 16 of them, just naming one at a time. And you don't have to, you just give one. So maybe Anna, we could start with you if you want to give one.
I heard, by the way, that there were only 4 events in the first Winter Olympics.
Um,
I don't know
well,
what the 4 were. Did the
okay, that's
announcer
a
just like
great.
rolled right by? It said, like, in 1924 when they had the first Winter Olympics,
Okay,
there were
Your
like 4
Honor,
events.
You know, I
Your
was
Honor,
watching the Olympics and they were talking about skiing and how now all the like it was in connection to the military. So like now the like winter military task force trains in Fort Drum in New York, but they used to train out here in Colorado.
Oh.
And so that's kind of like how skiing became a big thing out here is two prior military skiers sort of created the Aspen and steamboat that we know today, which is kind of
Hmm.
interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they really did
That's
it because like Russia is cold and it was after World War II or when the Cold
that's
War.
right.
And so like we needed to get across the terrain.
interesting.
I like it. I saw Wolverines. I know this shit, you know. um, okay, so let's start off. Maybe Anna, you could give us one
So,
of the events.
sorry, just I want to make sure I understand. You're talking about the current Olympics, 16 events, and when you
Yes.
say that, like broad categories, I mean
Yeah.
not like the smaller versions. Okay,
Correct.
all right.
Like if we were to
Um,
okay, go ahead and yeah.
yeah, yeah, okay, curling.
Curling, yes. Okay, that is good. Yes, we have one for curling. Okay.
There was a big scandal. There was just a big scandal about curling.
Yes.
Somebody,
Yeah.
like
With
The F
cheated,
word was used.
cheated in
People were not
curling. So I was reading
got
about
heated
it.
the
about it.
Canadians are double tapping,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
They're giving that little push there.
And they
so-
did not like being called out for it.
No, they did
Right.
They got
not.
really salty about that.
They didn't. They oh my gosh. Ellie, do you have an Olympic?
Sure.
Of
The
course you
luge.
do.
The
The
luge.
luge. Okay. The luge, yes.
I
Um,
have to say, my wife, Karen, the
Uh-huh.
lovely Karen, finds the two-man luge to be like absurd. Like, how did that ever become a thing?
It's
Yeah, it's like it
I
seems
think it
like
was
something two like 8-year-old boys would think of, like to do in the driveway.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
big dangerous sport.
or something like, what are you doing? Oh, it's a sport.
The
Yeah,
luge,
yeah.
Mom.
The sport. Well, now
Stop
after Karen's
losing
watched
me.
Heated Rivalry a bunch of times, she's now everything seems to her to be like a little on the questionable side. Like, what are two guys doing on a luge like that?
That's not that there's anything wrong with
Yeah,
it.
not that there's anything wrong with it.
Fred, what do you have? What do you got?
Bobsled.
Bobsled. Okay. Now, here's a question. There's a big debate about that. Is it bobsled or bobsleigh?
Oh yeah. Well,
So,
Oh, I know
Anna,
it's
what do you
sled.
think? Anna, is it bobsled or bobsleigh, and why?
Let's see. Bob Sled, I'm going to say. It's in Italy, right? Like, I don't know. I don't think they say bobsleigh.
Okay. All right. That's a good. So you're going regional on this. Any other ideas on this?
Yeah.
I have one. Okay, it's bobsled, and the reason is because when I was growing up, there was an amusement park called Seabreeze, and they had the bobsled ride, and that has to be correct.
Okay. I think that's sound logic. there.
Yeah.
and there are no horses involved, so it can't be a one-horse
Yeah.
open.
Well,
sleigh.
except that, okay, so here's what I found out is that I did some research and it used to be universally called the sleigh, the bobsleigh. And it was an English thing.
They're like, no, we got to be politically correct. We're not slaying, we're sledding.
That's right.
And British people are too
It could be.
nice.
But so now they call it I think the British now call it it's bobsleigh, but then they call the apparatus the sled.
Hmm.
But I agree that there's no horses and there's a ride in New York named after it, right? So
we're going with bobsled.
okay. All right. So I think we're back to Anna.
Hockey.
Hockey. Yes. Ice hockey, right?
Ice hockey.
I'll
Sorry,
accept
ice
hockey too. So
What is ice hockey?
good. Thank you. Ellie,
Figure
what you got?
skating.
Figure skating. We have figure skating. Yes, of course. Fred.
Cross-country skiing.
Okay.
So just
Is that too
skiing
specific?
so they're different skiing. So there's
There-
like the slalom, there's
Oh, wait,
downhill,
wait.
there's
Okay.
freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, correct. But we're gonna go with cross-country skiing for right now.
But is skiing all one, or are you counting all those things as four different?
There's some different ones in there, slightly.
okay.
Like
Because cross-country skiing is Nordic as opposed to
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Alpine. Yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
alpine. Yes.
Okay. And Fred.
I just said it.
Oh, you said cross
That
country
was me.
skiing. I'm sorry. I'm
But do I
sorry.
have to go
Anna.
twice?
Yes. Anna, what you got?
Ski jump.
Ski jumping. I'll accept it. You said jump. I'll accept
Jumping.
jumping.
Ski jumping.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Ellie, but you're on thin ice, okay?
You're mostly falling, though, aren't you?
Ski-mo.
Ski-mo, yes.
Ski-mo.
Ski
Look at that.
mountaineering, the newest event in the Olympics. Now, Fred, can I ask you for one?
Now, is snowboarding all going to be one? Because I would pick the half pipe if I was just going to pick one.
Yeah, snowboarding is all inclusive. It would include snow cross.
I think snowcross is pretty cool.
I think it's probably, without having seen, not having seen Ski-mo yet, it is so far, snowcross is the best thing ever. It is pretty cool.
And the way they like throw their board like forward to like get across the finish line and stuff like I like it.
How is that? How is pulling a wheelie and digging your tail in? I don't know how the like explain that mathematically. Like if you lift the tail up, I don't know. Okay.
I don't know. It's like throwing your bike when you're finishing.
And actually the physics on that are fascinating because you're like, fuck, if I want to go fast, what's the fastest way to go fast? Flying, right? Wrong. You're better hugging the ground. So I saw like a little video on why it's better to hug the ground than it is to fly. And it has to do with your acceleration as you drop straight down on the slope. You pick up, I forget the name of the curve. There's some kind of curve that maximizes your speed. So anyway.
Ellie's a scientist. Ask Ellie. She's a biologist.
Okay, it's not her turn right now.
Oh.
So, okay, so Fred, I think you said ski jumping, right?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That was Anna, I think.
Okay. It's Anna's turn though, I think. Now. So
yeah.
So Fred, you said snowboarding?
I
snowboarding.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Right. And sorry, did someone say officially alpine skiing?
No,
but you just did. Look at that. Good.
Yes.
That's good. Ellie.
In honor of Corinne, the coach I fired a couple of months ago, biathlon.
Yep.
That was going to be mine.
Don't shoot me. Okay, good.
That's kind of cool.
That is. I saw that today. I was wondering, like, the team biathlon, the U.S. got 5th, spoiler alert, which was it was a great showing for them. So, okay, Fred, what you got?
I don't know. Now I'm like running out of events. I'm sure there are tons of other ones, but let's see.
And my list is controversial. So, well, just because there's like, well, we kind of already said that, but like, give it a shot. I mean, that wasn't a hint for biathlon or anything.
I was going to say,
give it a shot.
Give it a shot,
or just give a short answer, Okay, we're gonna pass. Anna, you got anything?
Is ice dancing, is that part of figure skating?
That's part of figure skating for purposes of this.
For your purposes, because it's pretty.
It's not biathlon, but there was something which does involve Nordic skiing, and then they are not. Wait, is biathlon the one when they're using some sort of like aero device? Okay, never mind then. I guess that was biathlon.
I like your thoughts though.
There are other Nordic things though.
There are, yes. I'm going to give you credit for that, okay? I'm going to give you guys shared credit for this one. It's called Nordic Combined.
Nordic Combined, where you cross-country ski and ski.
You use the traditional and, skate and traditional. They're calling that too on this list, okay? Don't hate me.
Oh, wow, okay. Okay, all right.
And then we're missing a pretty big one. We kind of touched on it, not figure skating.
Speed skating.
Speed
skating. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I watched a lot of that.
Yes.
All of your Dutch fans were probably right at the edge of their chair going,
okay. And then there's a subcategory of speed skating that they've included in this.
Oh yeah. Short track.
Short track. Yes.
Yeah.
and then there's another type of skiing that we haven't talked about.
Freestyle.
So, freestyle, right on. Okay. Don't they also call that like slope style or something?
I don't know. I don't ski.
Okay. All right. That's fair. And then there's
Are
only
you
one
allowed
left.
to not ski if you live in Colorado? I thought that was mandatory.
No. I still play basketball.
Oh, okay. Then it's fine.
Oh, that's okay.
What?
That's my winter sport.
Oh, okay.
No hockey,
Yeah.
no skiing.
I
So
refuse to get into that.
It's
We're
expensive for one.
so you guys have done really well. You have everyone except for one. And this one, you're like, this one I know you know. And it's not bobsledding.
Oh, the skeleton.
What-
We haven't
The
done that yet.
skeleton.
What part of the
yes.
body are you using? What
Your
part of
whole
the body do you
your
use?
whole body going in head first.
Your whole body.
Yeah.
Oh,
Skeleton.
wait a minute.
Fred, I'm dying to hear what she's gonna say.
the thing when you're going, it's like in the luge you're back, the
Yes.
bobsled you're sitting, and then there's the thing when you're moving fast with
Yeah,
your head
skeleton.
with your.
That's skeleton.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
That's skeleton. Good.
Okay.
Okay, good. You guys got them all. That was great. So now we know what all 16 events are in the Olympics, and you guys did a great job of helping educate our audience today.
There are so many events within the events, though. Like
There
skiing
are.
has like 7 things now.
There's like ice dancing.
Oh, did you guys
rhythmic-
see? It was on Valentine's Day. This broke my heart a little bit. The quad god. He
Oh yeah,
oh,
Oh,
was
he ate
doing
shit,
so
right?
well.
yeah. I felt bad for him because he had so
Yeah.
much pressure on him. And
But
he
I mean,
just-
to be honest,
Yeah.
like all he had to do was just skate a clean, easy routine, and he went for it. And you know what? I respect that.
yeah,
I kind of missed that, I have to say. What I did hear was that there was an issue with the ice being shared on the speed track, or the speed skating track and the figure skating track, and that the ice has different characteristics apparently, and that there were a lot of people fell during that series, if I'm not mistaken.
they did a lot of people.
Yeah. So, and somebody said that it could have been the ice, but I did hear that the kid, whatever his name was, I should know what it is, but
Ilya Mellon,
yes,
Yeah.
that he didn't like. He was very gracious about his loss, even though he had
and he went
huge
and hugged
expectations.
the guy from Kazakhstan who won. And
Yeah, and he did that another time too. He lost to I think a guy from Japan. Is that right?
yeah, I think that's correct.
Early on, and he was also very gracious to him as well. So hats off to him. I think he's like shown the true Olympic spirit there.
I would like to point out
Mhm.
the American exceptionalism that all of the figure skaters that are American who are doing well are really Russian. Their parents are like Russian and they moved here and then
Oh,
they're like second generation. Like Ilya, I mean, his name's Ilya for one. His parents are both Russian.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. And
Huh.
there are a couple others as well.
Okay, that doesn't. I mean, but he's a citizen, right?
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah. There's a woman skiing for Albania who's I think American, and her mom like works for the Albanian consulate, and she was like, "Hey, can I ski for you guys?" And they were like, "Yeah, sure."
So, Fred, did you really expect America to get through the Olympics without an ice controversy? Is that
No.
what you're saying?
Nope,
No,
not for a second.
Not gonna happen, right? So, okay.
Figure
You got,
skating. I was just gonna say, figure skating to me is like has the same intensity and stress of like as gymnastics in the summer
Yes.
Olympics.
Yeah.
You're just sort of on edge, and you're just waiting for someone to mess up, and it's awful.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
And there's a lot of waiting around, and then you have to be super athletic and super precise.
Yeah.
For like a couple of minutes.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
one of my
and-
favorite stories from the Olympics it just happened today or yesterday is there's like a 41-year-old mom. Her name's Alana Myers, and she is a bobsledder, and she just like won gold, and she's 41, has two kids, like, and she's the like one of the first Black bobsledders ever. And
Yes.
like that's just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
believe that's Bob Slay, Ellie. I think it's Bob.
Yeah.
It's like cool runnings.
Yeah. Yeah, it
It
is.
is.
She's from
Yeah.
Georgia too, but she also it's not like she's new. She has 7
No.
Olympic medals in her life, right? This is
And
her first gold though.
I think that her daughter has a hearing issue, like
Yeah. Yeah, I
has
saw
a
her signing to her.
yeah. So I think she was like I saw a segment on her explaining to her daughter that she was going to go and compete again, and the whole thing. So yeah, that was a great story. Okay, so you guys ready for round 2?
Oh my God, there are more rounds?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of rounds here. It's like yards or something like that. Okay, so now that we know all the different events, I need each of you to ask, what 2 events would you like to combine to make a better sport? Okay, so if you could take any 2 Olympic events and combine them, what would it be? And I'm going to start just to give you guys a minute or two just to think about it, because I don't mean to just drop this on you. So I thought I had 2. One, and both of them involved a ski jump, because to me that's the fucking craziest. So I was thinking it would be fun, and I'm not exactly sure all the details, but if you could combine ski jump and curling, like if you had to go down the mountain holding the rock and then drop it in a place, and I don't know, I just think like if you had to drop the rock at a certain spot off of the ski jump, it would be
As you were
impressive.
flying, you could drop it into a little spot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, or I was thinking about it, but if you go like off the jump, you're probably gonna drop like a rock, right? So I don't think you can I don't know how that works. We'd have to try it, I think. And then the other one would be the ski jump biathlon. Where if you got to ski down the hill and then shoot a target in the air,
as you're in the air,
yeah, that would be some shit to
that has
see.
virtue. I like.
You know how many people would watch that? That would be the most popular. You do the drive by. So that's what those are my 2. Those are my 2 events.
I was immediately thinking of combining ski jumping with trick skiing. So you got the ski jump, like do multiple flips for 100 meters or something.
The big air. How many times do you think they can flip over? They're already doing like, oh my God,
4 or 5 or something. Yeah, imagine going on the big hill. Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, I would do freestyle skiing and figure skating.
All right.
Okay.
That they're like got the outfits on, going down the hill, maybe some doubles,
Okay.
like on the skis, and they're like throwing each other in the air. I think that'd be pretty cool.
So, okay, all right, I like that. That would work. You got any, Anna?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to say the luge ski jump. You're going to get in the luge and you're going to do the ski jump.
Right. Oh my God.
I like that.
That would be terrifying. Right?
I know, but if you're like a 10-year-old kid, you would love it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a parachute.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Okay.
No, the ski jump biathlon, that is like probably Russia's military strategy. That is so good.
We could do this. Or the other one that I thought about, it would be fun. It would be a modification if you did like the snowcross biathlon, where you go down the hill, you race and you try to take out your competitors in the middle of the race. With maybe you do a paintball, for TV.
All right, paintball. All right,
okay.
Do we have to come up with wait 2? Because I have another one.
Yes, if you have another one, that would be great.
All right. I haven't seen the show Heated Rivalry, but I certainly have heard of it. So I'm going to say hockey and ice skating, figure skating, so that you have the periods of hockey. You have one period where they're playing hockey, one period where everyone is doing couples figure skating, and then the last period is hockey
Okay, so
again.
the last period in the hotel room.
or that.
Okay, I also like the idea of the bobsled biathlon. Turn the bobsled back to the bobsleigh, you know?
Oh, there you go.
Yes.
Well played. I like that. Fred, any closing arguments on that?
I want to combine hockey and luge or bobsled, but it's like just seems like it'd be you could probably skate down the bobsled course.
How
So maybe
about,
you could play hockey on the bobsled course.
yeah, that would be something. I mean, that would be like a particle accelerator,
You would
right?
get going pretty fast on skates.
I thought that you could also play hockey with a curling rock.
Oh my God. They're pretty heavy, but you know,
or if you
bigger
had the
stuff.
hockey players, how about you just change the object of the game? You have the hockey players throw the rocks, right? Or slide the rocks instead of like this nice, graceful, release and everything like that. You have the hockey players try to take
Hurling
out
the rocks at the goal.
It'd
Yeah.
be like bowling,
Yeah.
or ice dodgeball.
Ice dodgeball.
Yeah. Okay. Any other last ones? All right. We'll move on to round 3. Okay. Round 3. What would be the best winter sport turned into ultra? How could you make a winter sport an ultra? And there's one
Well,
obvious.
do you remember back in like the 50s or 60s and they had those like dancing competitions where like
Yes.
you had to dance for like 48, 72 hours? So
Mhm.
figure skating.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
How many?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see how
Figure
many.
skating endurance figure
Mhm.
skating. Yeah.
Endurance figure skating.
Enduro skate.
There is. I can just imagine the announcers, right? There is no. There is no waiting.
There's no
There are
finish
no
line.
flowers.
Yeah.
You start.
There's
I
no
was-
kiss and cry, just cry. Yeah.
Perhaps in honor of like loop races, speed skating for some ultra distance. So you've got like they have to monitor their speed, but just going around the short track.
The short track 50K, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sounds miserable to me, but
oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be
They have
something.
a 10,000 meters on the long track, right? Imagine if they had like a 50K.
No, if you had full contact, if you had like just like they have it right now, like this way, the short
Mass
track,
start.
yeah, if somebody passes, if somebody not takes you out, you just dust yourself off the boards and you get back in there because you have like another 8 hours to catch them, right?
That's what they should have. The long track, a 24-hour.
Yes,
start.
yes.
That's
I thought that they kind of already do have an Olympic event, a winter Olympic event that's like an ultra. And that could be like the last skier standing, which they just had that in the White Mountains with Skimo. So, I actually thought that would make a great, can you imagine that event just going on they start it right at the beginning of the opening ceremonies. And then the guys like go like 5 or 6 days into it. And like people would be like, they would be watching that, so I don't know. Last skier standing. Any other ideas for ultra winter Olympic stuff?
Well, cross country skiing is too easy. I mean, do they have a 50K cross country race? They might. So,
I didn't think so. I know they have like a 20K, right?
I'm gonna look it up.
And then they had like relays.
They have lots of relays.
Yeah.
Because it's more fun. It's more fun to watch people doing that.
Yeah, and we already talked about our buddy who ran up the hill at 6 miles faster than a 6-minute pace, right?
Yeah, Clabo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's some good shit.
He's got 9 gold medals now in his career.
Wow. Right. Well, I think I just want to take a minute and say thanks to our Patreons right now while Fred's looking this up.
So Art,
Yes.
I have to admit, I thought you stopped the podcast. So can you explain to me like really quickly what's going on?
Yes. Yeah. No,
Like,
we
why am
stopped.
I here?
Yeah,
No,
like I was
I'm not
very
recording.
thankful because
I'm
like
not recording.
I haven't been listening to any like running content. So like I'm like, okay, is the podcast back?
Yeah. No, we took about 90 days off and then came back,
Okay.
you know. But
Is it regular like every week?
yeah, it has been lately. So we've actually so lots has happened. We took all the Patreon money and we bought a townhouse up in New Hampshire, up on Loon Mountain. So, um, if you're ever in the area, you can always stop by there. So we have been focusing, especially with Anna and Josh, who's been on. We've been talking more about the White Mountains and some of our winter adventures there. Anna is kind of the ultimate gear junkie too. So,
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, especially I would say, especially especially winter gear. Yes, I do love it.
Yeah, because I mean, in the summer, it's like, well, I got shorts and socks and a top, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and a hairband, and I don't have a hairband, but so. But yeah, we've had episodes, going for a while there. I think with the shoulder, it took me out for a little bit, but oh, I had my shoulder replaced too. I don't know if I told you that. So
No.
yeah.
Just tennis,
I
like
had
all your activities with the shoulder.
Yeah, no, I broke it 20 plus years ago, and I just had it. I had a complete replacement in December, so I haven't run in like a long time, like several months. Several months. I run in another March 15th is when is my first
Did they
day
just
back
think it'll
running.
dislodge or something?
No, it's been replaced completely. So it was completely
Healing?
arthritic. So it was bone on bone for probably 5 years. It was pretty painful. Anytime I ran, anytime I did an ultra, the end miles, like, at some point during that race, it was going to be extreme pain. But it was waking me up at night and, trying to get up.
So you can't run because it's healing.
Correct. Yeah. They put a new socket and a new ball in there, and it's all the muscles are reattached and tendons and all that stuff. So I can't have those get get all screwed up. So
yeah, it's really important not to rush healing.
No.
So I'm to be messed up. Yeah.
I've completely bought into the physical therapy, taking my time. I'm just walking now and doing a little bit of light hiking, spikes on snow and stuff like that,
great.
Non-technical stuff. So
it's 50K.
There is a 50K, huh?
Yeah.
In what?
Cross country skiing.
Oh.
And how quickly did you see how quickly they do it?
No, I did not. It was hard for me to even find the race. I didn't see who won. But it used to be the women only ran 30 because, they're the fairer sex.
And they don't want to lose their uteruses.
Yeah.
Or uteri, whatever you call them.
Yeah, Anna, so if you're a gear person, what stuff are you liking for the ladies? I need to know.
Specifically for the ladies?
Yeah, so I have been having issues with a running belt. So I find that I don't know what it is, but running belts kind of make me uncomfortable after a while. Like it feels like it squeezes my uterus, my gut there. So have you found any what is your favorite? And how have you found one that's forgiving for the hips, but I don't have super big hips, but I still have a womanly body, and so something that won't make me feel ill.
Well, I do actually have a naked belt, but I feel exactly how you do. I hate wearing it. And you don't want to know, I carry a huge Ultimate Direction pack on me all the time. I just totally gave up on belts.
Okay,
so good,
because my vest.
I will give up on the belt.
I don't even bother.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm with my dog a lot, so I definitely need to carry a few things that other people don't need to carry. So, but yeah, I've just gotten used to that, and I have a variety of size vests, but
Okay,
Like
but
good.
you're not
I'm
alone.
gonna wear
Yeah.
my vest strong then and be like, Anna told me it was fine.
if you have
Yeah.
any bear spray questions, um, and I give her a hard time because we went on a hike once and she brought two bear sprays with her. So, but
What
in
if
all
she saw two
fairness,
I have two
bears?
friends. I have two friends, and I want to,
that's
save
right.
both of my friends.
That's
So
right. It's like this, the backup, strapped to the ankle,
exactly, exactly. Like if you hold, I mean, I want to be able to hold the bear spray with two, both like go like that. So
That's right.
yeah.
That'll
I
take
think, I mean, I actually think like carrying a vest probably, helps your core. I don't know. That's just my rationale for it. Right? Like
Yeah,
some
I
people who
mean,
want to go really fast don't want to wear a vest, but I'm not, that's not my aim. So I don't,
it's
it doesn't
funny.
bother
So
me.
when people hear what my
Hmm.
research is in for college, they are like, "Oh, you mean like a running vest? Oh, you're carrying what you're studying? Like if carrying a running vest is good for your bones?" And I'm like, "Not exactly, but now you got me thinking."
Yeah. No,
Wait, what is your research? Oh, go on.
Oh, yeah. So just real quick, I'm defending in a month, and so I've been working on this for like forever. Um, I developed a treatment for osteoporosis using a weighted vest. And so my research was
Oh,
testing
okay. All
it
right.
to see if it actually worked. But a lot of times when I bring it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm testing like my research is in like seeing if wearing a weighted vest is good for bone loading, and they're like, oh, like you mean like a running vest, and I'm like, no,
Mm.
but maybe.
So what field
gotcha.
is this? What are you getting your master's in?
Hmm.
What are you
Oh,
getting?
biology.
Okay, because it sounds
Yeah,
like
but I
biomedical
worked a lot in
engineering.
the exercise science department, but it's
Okay.
technically biology. Yeah,
That's
almost
great.
done. 1 month.
Well,
Wow.
I mean, there are like scores of middle-aged women like me wearing weighted vests, probably, hoping
Yeah,
that
and
what
so that's kind
your
of what I
research,
saw. Like I
yeah,
saw
is
there was a
true.
big trend, and then when I looked into the research, there wasn't tons of research on it. And so
Mm.
it might work, like, but I feel like a lot of things that are anecdotal, there needs to be solid research behind it before like you can really uh make treatments for it or actually help people. And so
Right.
yeah, I just wanted to test it. So that's what I did.
Excellent. So is it a good thing then?
So what my research yielded was like it's inconclusive.
Mhm.
And so, but that's also because my study was the way it was designed. It was designed as a pilot study. And so we were kind of looking at just the how much weight you should carry and how long, which I
Mm.
got like um like some results for that, but like I wouldn't say take my data and say this is the exercise prescription. I would take my data and say now we should develop an 8 month study to test this. And so that's kind of what my study was meant for.
Gotcha. Because I would think that I mean, there's got to be you need a long period for adaptation,
Yeah,
right?
and so mine was just like a one single bout. We were just seeing if markers that signal bone is being reabsorbed were in their saliva.
Gotcha.
Um, and
And you can't do a double blind or anything, right?
So,
That
I mean,
for
you could design a study
for
anytime,
control.
any way you want. But mine was really just the pilot to see like, does anything change? Is this worth researching? And so, my conclusion is that like, here's a study, here's the pilot, and this is what should be done next in order to see if this actually works.
Gotcha. Okay. Huh. That's great. I mean, that's certainly a good something that will be of hopefully be of value, right? To
Yeah, I mean, it was fun
these
to do.
people.
I mean,
Hmm.
I'm looking forward to defending and the research is out there. So,
Yeah.
and it's on postmenopausal women, which is a very understudied research group. And so
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of actually what I talk about in my defense is like the reason this is important and like, why like women should be why like we can't necessarily take all the research in medical and exercise science we can't always apply it to the female body because we're simply not studied. And so, when I'm thinking about, because I read a lot of research and like, I mean, the same stuff David Roach does, but want to know what the
Yes.
difference is like David Roach is a 30-year-old white man and all the research is done on 20 to 30-year-old white men. I'm
Correct.
not that. And so like
Hmm.
why am I trying to force myself to fit into this mold of research that was not done on even anything close to what I am. And so that's kind of actually what I talk a lot about in my defense is how there just needs to be more research on women and people of different bodies, different races, and there just isn't. And so that's like a big part of my defense.
Gotcha. Oh, interesting. I've heard him say that part of the problem is like, well, just like you said, is that a lot of the studies are all designed for men. Simply, I think in a lot of cases it might be, maybe I don't know what the cause is for that, but it might be just that it's a simpler, it's a simpler approach for the researchers, right? I mean,
Yeah,
because then you
definitely.
don't
I
have to
mean,
account for hormonal differences and
yep.
periods and things like that. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's definitely that. I mean, also 20-year-old men, you go to a college and it's like that's your group, you know?
yeah.
And then also like uh it's I get once women get of a certain age, we don't like to say this, but once we're past childbearing age, it's kind of like our worth to society is goes down.
Mm.
And so then if your worth to society is going down, there's not a lot of incentive to put money behind making you live longer. And that's really, really hard to hear and hard to say, but that's really kind of what's going on.
Mm.
And so like even though I feel like I don't think like my study was groundbreaking, but it is like doing research on a population that isn't studied very much. And to me, that's important. So like that's kind of why I'm happy that I did it.
Yeah, yeah, because you never know. I mean, that could certainly tie into somebody else's study, right? Or just be a footnote to help somebody make some other connections, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's really increased my interest in female health in general. And I mean, as I look to be in secondary school teaching as I get older, like, being that person who can talk to girls and stuff about health and about those kind of things. Also educate young men about like the health of women and things like that. It's
Mm.
it's just it's important to me, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so yeah, I don't know. It's exciting.
it is. Yeah, that's good for you for that.
Yeah.
So
That's a
it took
great
me
thing.
34 years to finish college.
And on behalf of middle-aged or whatever women, we thank you and look forward to more. Yeah, I'm constantly like my college friend group is constantly talking about all the, life changes.
Well, menopause is
It's
having a
actually really
moment.
interesting to me. Yeah.
Mm.
Which is really great.
Yeah.
And it's funny that it took like, it's like Halle Berry and like Gwyneth Paltrow. It took like beautiful women getting old and realizing like they're not going to be beautiful their whole lives for us to be like, we need to invest in menopause research. But hey, whatever it takes.
Mm. Wow. Yeah, that's yeah, I think that's great. So I was looking to see if there's a takeaway that that I would go and talk to my wife about.
If you want to talk to me about it, you can email me. I can talk all day.
Okay, yeah. Because certainly, like, quality of life, and also I see. What do you see as far as, or what do you guys see as far as like women as they age? It seems like that a lot of women drop out of running after menopause. Is that, I mean, isn't that, I mean, I know some women who run well into their 70s, into their 80s, and who are, just amazing athletes. But they seem to be the exception, right? And
Do you
that a
think
lot
they
of
like,
people step out.
do you think they stop? Are they pursuing a different outdoor activity? Like, are they doing more hiking than running, or is it just not doing like as much exercise? What do you
They might
see?
even be running. Maybe it's just not racing too. That might
Oh,
be
okay.
the other part. I mean, things have changed too. Like it seems like, and Fred, maybe you could kind of weigh in on this, but it seems like there were, back in the day, there were more running clubs, I think, or the clubs were more in person based, just because that's like, if you wanted to see people, you couldn't, like, you weren't going to send them an email. You weren't going to go on Facebook. You weren't going to do anything except for show up Tuesday night for the run, right? And you just knew you didn't have to say, hey, is there a run? Because there's always a run because it's Tuesday night. So you show up there, or you show up at a race with your club singlet and you talk to other people who have the same singlet, and you get to meet people in the social running club, you know. But then once Facebook started with the clubs, then it was like, okay, oh, hey, I'm going to run Monday night. I'm going to run further. I'm going to meet a different place. You know, we're going to mix it up and stuff like that. So I don't know. So
I think that's true. I think there also used to be, well, for me, a lot of shorter distance runs, like so you could race every weekend, you know, with a group of people. You'd see the same people.
Yeah, and also it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like there's so many more races now, which is great, but there's so many more races now, which also kind of dilutes everything. Like it used to be like, oh, if you want to race in December, you have like Santa's Run in Glastonbury, you know, and that's like, you know, the first weekend of December, that's when it is. And like everybody would go to that, you know, and a lot of people still go, but there's a lot of people that also go to the race the same weekend the next day, or, you know, that's later on in that day. So I think people get pulled around to different, you know, to different races too. So I don't know.
You know, I don't, for your first question, I haven't read research on dropout rates. I know that when we're looking at youth, a lot of women or girls, young adult women, stop participating in sports when bodies change, when their bodies change. That's why that's why the invention of the sports bra was like one of the most impactful things for women in sports, making things more comfortable, which is cool, Anna, that you're a really big gear person. Making like even packs, you know, making in ultra running, making packs that are actually for women, not for small men. So I think maybe, and I don't know the dropout rate of older women because there's no research on it, you know, and but you know, menopause is a huge change to body systems, and not just like, I mean, the symptoms like hot flashes, more frequent urination, just being sore, just fatigue. There's a lot of things that change in a very rapid and not linear way. And so that can be really unsettling, I think. I mean, think of if you're going for like your normal run and all of a sudden now you have to find three pee stops during it, you know? It's like it's those kind of like little inconveniences. We also call that like mental work. So traditionally women carry a lot higher of the mental load in families and relationships, mostly societal expectation. Like that's just kind of how it's been. Like the men, it used to be the men would go to work and the women would like take care of the family and all that stuff. Now we see that women and men kind of work at similar rates, but women still maintain most of that mental load. And I think as you get older, you know, and your family gets more complicated, just more things that your kids are doing, that you're doing, stuff like that, that mental load can increase on both parents, but women as well. And I think that like as probably they get older, you know, maybe just entering races or doing things that might take even more mental load just aren't as important. And so like that could be one of the reasons, but also like I'm sort of just speaking as like what I would think. I'm not really that positive. I just kind of know about the changes that happen with youth. And I know that this is another big change that women go through, that men might not necessarily go through in the same way. And so that could be one of the reasons, but I don't know. Let's throw it out to the culture community, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely true that women have two jobs usually. You know, they have their job and then their job. And
Yeah. And I
that
think things are changing. Like, to be honest, I
yeah.
know a lot of really great men and, you know, it's so, and like, I think things are changing a lot, but it's still like, just also like, I mean, if I were to ever be married and have kids, you know, like I would take on a lot of mental load without even really thinking about it. It's because
Yeah.
I just want things to run smoothly. And like, I think of it as part of my job. And like, I agreed to have this child. So, and so I think things are like will continue to even out. But still right now there's just like you're and that's also like, I don't know if women necessarily also think it's a bad thing. We're always
Mm.
making choices between like what we want to spend our time and attention to. And I mean, like maybe if whenever I'm a mom, I would rather go watch my child play soccer on Saturday than go run a race. And then I'll
Yeah.
go run by myself.
See that I get. Like I can understand. I would expect to see a reduction in women participating in races who are in the active motherhood. When kids are during that age where they, up until let's just call it up until 20 to some degree, you know, say from their ages from 30 to 50. And then I would expect to see more women entering running after 50, just because it's like, hey, my kids are in school now, or my kids are going away to college. So I finally, now I have time to do, you know, to do those runs and stuff like that. Um,
That would be an
I,
interesting
I
research study to do.
yeah.
Like what are the
I,
like what are the hobbies of women,
yeah.
past a certain age? Which that's kind of get back to my point. Like after a certain age, we just like don't care. And that's like I'm glad you're asking these questions because I'm curious now too. I mean,
Mm,
I should have asked the women who came to my study because like that's part of my research was like understanding why they were motivated to come and participate in this research.
mm,
And all of them were like, one of them she was my oldest participant. She was 72 and she still is meeting her running group for workouts. Like it's
yeah.
insane. And some were definitely obviously type A go-getters, but this is also Colorado and like, my population is self-selecting and stuff like that. But that's an interesting thing an interesting study that I think hopefully a sports sociologist will take on at some point.
Yeah. I think that most of the women that I ran with and most of the people that I ran with, parents, male and female, um, during those heavy childhood years, that's why we're running at 5 o'clock in the morning, because at least then you have a shot at finding that time, assuming that, you have somebody else, to watch, to watch the kids while you're running at 5 o'clock in the morning or something like that. So
Mhm.
I don't know. Anna, you
I was
were
I was gonna yeah, well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, just probably maybe I'm speaking for myself, but I might be speaking for others. The flip side is that you have children, and after my second son was about one, I had run like on and off all my life, but I became much more serious. And when I say serious, that's like probably not as serious as many people, but I became much more focused on running just to get in shape after having child two, right? Like that was an
Oh yeah.
incentive for me to run, having a kid and feeling like blah and, like maybe unenergetic. I felt more energetic running. And that was very, after that, like, even though my kids were young, it was a very steady, like I had have had a steady running kind of life since. But then I was also going to say, then the fatigue comes into play for sure, right? People in their like perimenopause, menopause, like I don't know about postmenopause, but like phases of being tired, and that kind of interrupts, let's say, training cycles. Like you want to do whatever race, but you think, oh, I really need to prioritize my sleep. I'm just tired a lot. So I can't get up at 5 to do stuff. For me, I don't set my alarm. Like I just need to sleep as much as I can sleep. So that I think the fatigue especially impacts like one's ability to be motivated to do specific like hard things, unless you're willing to be underprepared. And I certainly like am often or usually underprepared. And I think I don't know, maybe I'm not sure how many women like feel comfortable being underprepared. I do, but that's just me. So there are a lot of like competing, dynamics, I guess I would say.
And then there's the argument, like
Yeah.
if we're talking about ultras, I mean, they're not really that good for you. Like I'm gonna be honest, like they're
What?
not good for you.
Fred,
I mean,
you
and
calling
so
bullshit
like
on this?
maybe women are just smart.
Oh, thank you, Ellie. You figured it out. That is obviously the issue. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, oh my
Well,
gosh.
there does come a point in your life, excuse me. I'm farther along than the rest of you, and my wife went through periods of time where we were raising children, and now they're off in college, and she has a lot more free time.
Mm.
Like she feels like a weight has been lifted from her shoulders, but she doesn't want to run ultras. She would never.
Why would
She's
you
way
do
too
that?
smart for that. She's got has a bunch of goals in her life, but they're not that,
Mm.
because it's not that good for you.
Interesting. Yeah, it's a I don't know. It's a great conversation to have. And it's also, I feel like, oh God, Art, just don't say anything stupid that you're gonna like really
No, those
because
are some good questions,
yeah, I haven't, I mean, understand this. Like when you said, oh, well, the idea of having children and then feeling like you're out of shape, I was like, oh, you dumbass, of course. Like that's like that's like New Year's Eve for people or New Year's Day for people. You wake up and it's like, okay, it's time to reset and to regain focus in my own physical, part of my recovery postpartum and stuff like that. Um, and then the other part that happens is that once everybody in the family is retired, maybe those roles get rearranged, like kind of redefining. That's something my wife and I have had to try to figure out, like, okay, it's different now, like, cause we're both here. So, let's kind of redo that, and redefining that stuff is not easy, I mean, not that it's super hard, but it's just, I don't know. I find
I just was thinking of kind of a related topic because I looked at the finishers, the finishers list for the Frozen Snot, which I just did, and I saw that 25% was women. I consider that to be quite low for a trail half marathon. Like it's hard, like as it wins the number one prize of Trails Collective, but I was like, really? Like that is so low. So, I know this is a topic that people talk about, but I just saw that and I was a little bit shocked.
Yeah.
I wondered why,
I thought you were going to say much lower than that, honestly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I find, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, not that I don't think that women can do it, because certainly, I mean, you kick my ass every time we
Right.
go out on the trails. But like, I'm just saying that, like, in at least the longer distances, like the 100 milers, a lot of these trail runs, you don't see the women participation traditionally that you do.
That I get. Like, it's a half marathon, right? Like
yes,
that's why
correct.
I was surprised.
Which typically there's a lot. I think half marathon is one of the events that a lot of time has more female participation, and just like a Cultra
road
fact.
half marathons, they're more women.
Well, but if
Thank
the half
you.
marathon's taking 5 hours, I think that there's because I think about this whenever I have like a long run to do, even. It's like the opportunity cost of what I could be doing or the responsibilities that I have at home or to other people that I could be doing while I'm doing this run. And I think that like is a really understated thing that like that I don't necessarily always consciously think of as like a barrier to running. But, I know like when I'm screwing off and like I'm just going to do like like going to run and when I really should be doing something else. And I think, or that I feel like I should be doing something else, or it's like, okay, well, I'm doing this half marathon. It's going to take 5 hours. And then if I get home in a half an hour and then I'll still have time to like throw the laundry in, put the lasagna in the oven, go pick up Timmy from soccer. And I think all this can happen, but and it's like, it's kind of, it's that like, it's other things too. There's like, okay, if I choose to do this, that's just going to make tomorrow harder, or it's just going to make tonight more stressful. And sometimes it's not worth it.
Yeah, agreed. And the thing about trails, that's another big difference between trails and roads, right?
Yeah, like for a half marathon, generally, like you will be done within reason, and you're at a normal city. You can pick up groceries on the way home,
Right.
and all that stuff. Trail, it's like we could be out here for 2 hours or 7 hours.
Yeah, with a long, go to do a 20-mile long run or something on the roads, like, okay, it's probably 3 hours, 4 hours, door to door at the longest, right? So I'm back, if I'm starting and meeting my friends at 6, I'm home 11 o'clock, and that's kind of reasonable, one day a week to be out like that, right? But if I'm doing that on trails, that could be, that could easily double, that could easily double,
Yeah, and I mean it's not like, and I live alone, right? So it's not like
Mhm.
anybody's telling me like you need to get this laundry in, or like you need
No.
to put this in the oven. But it's like that I know it's in the back of my brain, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, so if I don't do this today, but tomorrow I wanted to work on something else, and then I'll have to push it to tomorrow, and then I won't get this done, and then there's all this like build up in my mind of like,
Yeah.
okay, if I make this choice right now, what is not going to happen because of this that's
Mhm.
going to make this week stressful?
Yeah.
And I wish that I could turn that off sometimes, and sometimes I can, but other time I know that like as my life gets more complicated, if I were to introduce children or something like that, those things to make other people's lives easier, to make our family life easier, I would have to make some choices about the running that I do.
Mhm.
And not that that's a bad thing. It's just those are the reasons that
Yeah.
maybe there might be less participation for certain people, men and women in sport, you
Yes.
know?
I think you're in a good position because at least you have a handle on your running, right? And the scary part that happened for me was as a newer parent and as a newer runner, um the excitement of being a newer runner and like training for something, like I kind of felt like in the beginning, like, okay, you got a marathon plan, like this is your plan, like you don't miss a day. If you miss a day, you're probably not going to finish and you could die. I mean, I was and I just kind of like I overinflated in my mind the importance of that, so I did have troubles in the beginning kind of putting that in the proper perspective, because it was massive reinforcement from in that early stages as you're getting faster and getting fitter and doing things, and it's just such a rush that it was very hard to keep that in the proper perspective, at different times. Like I gave
Yeah,
it
and I
more
mean for running, it's
importance.
easy to like, it's like missing a day here and there is fine, but it's
Yeah.
not like I can miss picking up my kid from school.
No,
So
of
like, oh,
course.
today
Yes.
just not going to pick him up.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right, it's one day. It's like,
Yeah.
no, there are things you need to do these things, and
Yeah.
so I think those are just
I
more as you get older. And then I guess
Yes.
once the kids leave, it might be hard to switch back into that like free-spirited, oh, I
Gotcha.
can do whatever. Like my body, because your body also is not young. It's not like you can run as much. It's like,
Yes.
so there are just those choices.
So what was the worst parenting moment that you guys had for Fred and for Anna? The worst parenting moment that you had where your running took priority over your kids in maybe
Oh,
even a small manner, that where you just did something
mhm.
that wasn't really, in hindsight,
Yep.
maybe textbook. What do you
I
got, Anna?
I don't think this is so terrible, but I definitely, when my sons were in elementary school, I picked them up from school. It was like a private school, like there are no buses. And I definitely had occasions on the top of West Rock, like on the regicides, realizing what I had done was not according to plan. And I was going to be like 15 or 20 minutes late. And I'm calling the teacher from the regicide saying, like, I'm going to be a few minutes late.
It's very
So,
technical,
but no, right.
This is a very
But
difficult trail. Okay, it's not.
right.
This is not buffed out. This isn't
It's
West
not a
Coast
walk in the
here.
park,
That's
right?
right. I bet you couldn't even do it.
I definitely did not volunteer that I was running and on a trail, but but I think that was pretty tame. But I had a couple of things like that, and I knew they were going to be fine. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fred, how about you?
I just
You
didn't
got-
plan. I just didn't plan well enough. But
I would say more
Gotcha.
in my life it was like incorporating my kids into things that they had no interest in doing. And their memories are good now. Like there was a night at Umstead where we had like a medium-sized SUV, and like my 7-year-old and 5-year-old are sleeping in the SUV overnight, and Karen was there like sleeping in the driver's seat while I was running all night. And that was unnecessary, I think, in hindsight.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But they're all like, remember the time we slept in the car? That was awesome.
Oh my gosh. I think my one thing that comes to mind with me was one time I went for a long run, and I came home and I was just toast. And I had to go to the store, and I had my son Jack with me, and I pulled into this supermarket parking lot, and it's like, oh man, I'm too tired. I just don't want, I can't even get up and go in Stop and Shop. So I said, Jack, and he was probably 9 or 10. And I sent him into the supermarket, and it's a pretty big supermarket. And I sent him in with money to go buy some milk or something like that. So
go get this alcohol.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that in a weird way. Like, and
get daddy a pack of smokes.
He did it.
Pick up your mom's birth control.
Oh.
Art is choking.
You broke Art. That was it.
I did. We probably should have ended on me saying ultras aren't good for you.
Yeah, that's right. All right. All right. Very good. I think we gotta this has been a lot of fun, guys. Do you have that's all I got. I don't have another I think we'll stop it there.
Cat's back anyway.
No, yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, Ellie, so glad to have you back here. Good to catch up. And I just love your attitude towards life, and how you, I don't know, just how you have your priorities straight, it sounds like. So, that's very refreshing these days. So
thanks. Yeah, I feel pretty good. I've felt really happy the past couple of months, and I don't know, it could be retiring from professional running. It could be getting off social media. It could be all the above. I don't know. I feel like, I'm just, I don't know, living a normal life, and it feels good.
There you go. All right.
That sounds great.
That sounds good.
Yeah, freeing, very freeing.
Mm-hmm.
Very good. Fred or Anna, you guys have any closing arguments?
I'm being occupied by a cat right now, so the back end of the cat. The front end is toward me.
Well, I wish you thank you for chatting, and I wish you really good luck in your upcoming race. It'll be fun to see or hear about what happens, and thanks for also doing the research on the ladies.
Oh yeah, no, thanks so much. I think it'll be fun in a month, and I feel like I'm in good shape, and also I'll be done defending, so I'll be all riding the high of just being done with my masters. So yes,
that's awesome. Good timing.
Yeah, very
that's
good.
Perfect timing.
All right. Well, thanks again, Ellie. And thanks to all of our listeners out there. If you've made it this far, of course, seek professional help. And we will see you all in a mile
and a half.
Mile and a half.
All right. All right. Excellent.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm glad to know the podcast is coming out normally. Like when you've stopped, I unsubscribed.
Oh no.
I don't. Yeah, so I'll go back and listen to some of them.
Okay. Yeah. We've had some good we've had some very good episodes lately. So,
oh, good. Yeah. But yeah, email Jesse and Lila, see if they'll come out to the cut. Maybe they will. I don't know.
Yeah.
I talked the last time I talked to Lila was 6 months ago. So
okay. Yeah, I haven't touched base.
I'm actually thankful to you for connecting us, actually. That was kind of nice. Yeah.
Well, I think that it just, to me, it seems like such a good fit, because I think you're in a unique position, somebody that would be great for her to talk to. And
yeah, I'm hoping that I can help her avoid the things that I went through. So
yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's exactly what it's for.
That's right.
Yeah.
I point out, Ellie, that Josh Allen got in touch with the podcast. I was wondering why.
Oh my gosh!
On the podcast for a while, so
wow.
Yeah,
you'll be happy to hear that you were back tonight.
Oh, good. Yes. I don't know if I still support you guys on Patreon then. I don't remember, but I do.
You do. Yeah. It's one of those
because my Patreon
you're not
name,
allowed to cancel. I know.
My Patreon name is Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend.
And we read that last week. And we said, Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend, and she used to be mine.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
Yeah, and so it's Scotty Coomer also, like, he thinks that's hilarious.
Yeah, that is classic.
So yeah, well, because at Javelina you could dress up, right? So I did Javelina 100 a couple months ago, and I decided to wear my Bills jersey, and my costume was Josh Allen's ex-girlfriend. Well, so, and it was funny. Like, the people that got it, and it was great. So that's all I needed.
Very good. That is cool.
Yeah.
Nothing to say, our brothers play.